Good day, everyone. Good day. This is Cheryl, and we are on the JQ Live this morning, and I just want to say hello. The JQ Live this morning is all about the opportunity for us to really get into our declaration for the day. So what does it mean to walk our talk? Not to be a motivational reel, but to have a highlight of our day when we're at the end. So financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what does it feel like to have a kind forward movement for ourselves? So that's the discussion we're having here on the JQ Live Edge to get you that, right? And so how we're going to do that is the PEP, which is the purpose, execution, and purpose, execution, and proof. There we go. All right. So first of all, today's through line, every day has a through line. And today is about our emotions are the driver of every result. So let me say that again. Your emotions are the driver of every result. You attract what you are, not what you want. So I tried to fool the universe and spirit and God and the world and the people and my family for many, many years. And at the end of the day, when you're wanting to live your purpose or be your best self, whatever that is for you, right? How do you show up and what are you radiating? So you can't fool yourself, let alone other people. So the truth is the truth. So stop for just a second. I want you to look around. Where are you at? At the airport? Are you walking? Are you in your driveway? Are you grabbing your coffee and running out the door? So whatever this moment is for you, this is where your purpose lives. It's right here, right now, believe it or not. So the emotion that you're feeling right now, this is your like go-to point. Like just being aware of what that is what's going to help you. So I'm just going to stop for a second and ask you to just give yourself a chance to give yourself an emotional name. Any word that comes to mind. Is it overwhelm, chaos, calm, excitement, genius, awe, love, kindness? So whatever that is, this is what your frequency is broadcasting. So that's why we talk here in JOYELY about why our KPIs are data, right? How do we look at them and measure them so they are increasing our bottom line or our results or whatever it is that we're looking for. So you can say what your purpose is all day long, right? You can talk about it, you can post it, you can put it in a journal, you can, LinkedIn it and do videos and all the content. But if it isn't the thing that you're doing and manifesting and creating in your life, then it isn't a big problem or a thing you have to check off all day. It's a moment problem. It's this moment right now, what you're creating and what your frequency is, and that's it. So if we could just kind of roll ourselves into that, that's really helpful. So think about your phone, your Wi-Fi. So your Wi-Fi, you can be standing right next to your router sometimes, and you're like still not getting a signal. So that's because there's something interfering. Like who knows what's going on in the world that your signal in your home or office isn't working at the moment. So maybe what happens then when you look at that and you can't do your work, you're like resentful. Like, why is that happening? And then in the back of your mind, you're like, something's stopping me from doing what I want. And maybe anger, gets in, or frustration. So how you handle that particular moment, these mundane moments, is where the real excitement comes when you learn what the JQ Edge is all about. So for example, when you're brushing your teeth or you're in a commute and you're in a hurry and you're looking around and you're checking your watch and you're frustrated because someone's ahead of you and not going fast enough and all the things. Like those are not filler moments. Those are the moments. So I want you just to think about this question as we move into the next section of this, which is, what emotion am I carrying around at this moment? This moment. So I suggest you start a journal when you watch the JQ Edge Live and write that moment down. What is it? And watch it as it starts to change and increase. So it's really all about safety, presence, and joy. And we'll talk about that later on in one of the shows. So execution. So what happens when you're in this moment or in the moment, many moments all day long? How does that show up as who you are, right? So you don't execute your goals, you execute your identity, your frequency, your moments. So if I could just clarify that the part about execution, I think sometimes is we all think we have to check off our to-do list, right? Check, 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 check. But what's happening is two people doing the same thing don't necessarily get us to the same goal. So it's our emotional state underneath the to-do list. So is it like bothersome that you have to do these things? Or you're like, even though I don't love them, I'm excited because it's moving me toward the thing that I want to do. So executing on goals really is your nervous system reacting. So that's why we use the chair of joy. Like if your nervous system is reacting as something that you don't love or you don't get excited, that's the difference between, moving forward and pushing on, or actually stopping and interfering, stopping and being the purposeful interference. So from reaction to stimulus. So you interrupt. So when you're aware that you're in a moment that doesn't feel like it's the blueprint of your perfect purpose, that's the time we get to go, oh, wait a second, I'm not going to just keep on doing this to-do list and checking things off because something isn't firing, something isn't working for me. It doesn't feel like it's completely coming to fruition based on the fact that I'm just moving through the day and through the emotions. So think flow, not force, right? Think that this is an emotional alignment issue. So now that we're talking, I just want you to just think, I'm just going to give you another couple of minutes to think about. If you had the perfect image of what flow looked like for you in a day, what would that be? So it's going to give you a minute to just picture that for yourself. It's kind of fun, huh? Like you actually get to see yourself moving through the day. I was just saying to one of my coworkers, Brian, I was like, what is it? I had it like a vision of the two of us walking down a busy street, just laughing and having a good time. We were both very strong. We were wearing white. We had our JOYELY logos on, and we were laughing and having a good time. So to me, that moment of chaos or whatever you might have seen is a fact that you get to interrupt it and create something new. So our imagination and our visualization every day, all day long, is so, so important. So just a note to think about as we move forward into the proof section is for your execution. Before I respond today, is this coming from regulation or reaction? Okay, now we're going to get into the proof, which is the P of the PEP, PEP. And I know some of you are sitting here right now thinking, okay, but how do I know if this is actually working? Like, when do I know I have joy intelligence or the JQ edge? So we would like to invite you to look at the proof all around you. It's there every day, all day long. And I think oftentimes we don't pay attention to how amazing it is and how much it's working. So look at, just look around at your life. Think of your home, think of your work environment, think of the people in your life. So without judging them or making assumptions or decisions about, the criticisms, right? I did this right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what you are actually experiencing right where you are is, again, a result of what it is that you've been feeling. So your feeling creates your actions, creates your thinking, creates your feelings, and then action. So when people are showing up in your life right now, that's proof that things are happening. So did you ever meet somebody? Like over the weekend, I met some amazing people, and I'm just like, where did this come from? And, I'm thinking about healthy families and healthy environments, and what does that even look like? And I had these two teenagers. The host asked these two teenagers, like, tell me something great about your mom. And they were like, oh my gosh, she's an immigrant from Pakistan. She's adventurous. She goes on anything and every trip that we ask her to. And she's just kind, and she speaks all over the world. And I want to be like her. Like, what teenagers say that, right? So it's like I'm looking for proof around me without going, this is wrong or this is broken or those things. So you attract more of what your identity is, right? So again, I just want you to not think about posting today and like checking all the boxes in the execution part of your day, but really sitting still and looking at the proof. You can do that all day long, by the way. Proof doesn't just show up at the end of the day. It comes after a meeting. It comes when you watch your child giggle, or it comes when you know you get a connection out of the blue, like I just mentioned. So the chair of joy experience is really meant for you to pause and maybe choose differently so that you can really see the proof and experience it. So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the JQ edge, or joy intelligence, which is, you know, the quotients, EQ or IQ, EQ, JQ, JQ, joy intelligence. This is the edge. We train it by living it in the moments. So let me help you get the JQ edge as you run off into your day. So the chair of joy, sit, breathe, think, feel, right, is one of our ways to get access to the proof of what it is that we're after every single day. So step one, I want you to grab your chair of joy. So this just takes 60 seconds. There's 4 steps: sit, breathe, think, feel. I want you to just imagine what your chair of joy is right now. If you could sit anywhere in the world, or even if it's in your backyard, go ahead and have a seat. So you can close your eyes if you want, you don't have to. Imagine yourself sitting in that seat. I know I have a friend on here today, and she's very beautiful and vivacious and colorful. And I imagine her being on a beach in, you know, with a big bowl of fruit next to her and just laughing and having a good time. I can see it. It's so beautiful. All right, step 2, wherever yours is, it's perfect. Step 2, take a deep breath in and just hold it at the top of your lungs, or top at the very top if you can, and hold it as long as you can. The longer you stay here, the more you can exhale things that you want to release. So whatever's happening today that you don't want to deal with, or is obstacle or getting in your way from your purpose, just hold that and then exhale. It's funny, I talked all the way through that breath. So I'm gonna do it again. Ready? Deep breath in. And I'll just be quiet as you just let all those things kind of come up that you want to leave on the table right now, so you can move into the moment. Step 3, think about something today that you see. Like I envisioned Brian and I walking down the street. What do you see that's unfolding and unpacking for you today that feels like not only are you on purpose, not only are you executing your purpose, but you are in the proof of it in the moment. So I want you to just take a peek through the day and see if you can find one of those things that might come and to you that you can actually really realistically imagine and touch and experience. And then finally, feel that in your bones, from your toes to your knees, all the way up to your shoulders. Roll your neck around, all the way around. And stay here for a while if you'd like. Thank you for joining us on the JQ